What is up, everybody? This is Contest 22. I'm your host, Classified. This is Brains Get Gains. Before I get into the information on today's quiz, make sure you check out the end of the video as well, as that will tell you how you could win an extra $100 for that special giveaway we talked about last week. All right, that being said, this week is America's birthday. Therefore, all the questions will be around such topics. Other than that, just your typical $20 to $40 contest giveaway. Wish you the best luck. Take care. Okay, everybody, part 2 of the show. As promised, I'm going to be giving away $100 to you guys. And I know you're like, oh, well, you got a $200 donation. Well, hear me out. What's going to happen is I'm going to go around asking random people a bunch of questions, maybe around 10 questions each person. And if they can get all 10 right, questions similar to what you would see on these quizzes, if they can get all 10 right without using their phones, then they would get $100. Now you may be wondering how you're gonna get $100. That's the thing. I'm not coming up with these questions. You guys are. You could submit as many as you'd like, but there are limitations into what those questions can be, and I'll explain that here in a second. But you'll come up with the questions, and then I'll ask those questions to everyone else, the random strangers I know, maybe a few people I know. Whichever person's question stumps the most people wins $100. There's really just two main criteria for the questions that you guys can propose. Like I said, the people that I go out and ask on the street, they're not gonna have the internet, so these gotta be like relatively basic questions. However, they can be trick questions. An example that I came up with is how much of the world's population of cows are females? If you answered 100%, you'd be right, but people might think it's about 50%. These kind of simple trick questions are the types of questions I would encourage. You don't want these questions to be some question you'd see on some PhD exam. Things that, you know, people should kind of know, might really be a little tricky, and I'm just gonna have to use that at my own discretion when I'm reading through your questions, which ones qualify in that regard and which ones don't. The other thing is these aren't riddles, so the other rule is that you gotta have like these questions in less than like 20 words. I don't wanna have questions that are super long. So short questions, simple questions, but they can be trick questions, and I'm just gonna have to use my best judgment to kind of filter out the ones that are appropriate for the video. Submit multiple if you're not sure which ones will qualify and which ones might not. And depending how much participation I get from you guys, I'll probably just choose one question from each person that submits. Unless there's low participation, then I might use 2. You have until the next week's contest. You have a full week to submit your questions to me. Just put in the subject line of your email to me, $100 question. Put $100 question in the subject line. That way I know that the questions you're posing in that email is for that video. And then next week, hopefully I'll be able to start asking people around these questions, and whichever one of you stumps the most people will get $100. And if nobody that I ask gets all 10 questions or so right, then I'll have another $100 to give away, and we'll discuss that later. Anyways, leave any questions in the comments or in your emails. Hopefully that was clear. If it wasn't, I'll try to address that later in the week. Anyways, good luck guys. Take care.